Hi guys. Oh, it's getting tired. Oh, Billy. It's my absolute worst job on the farm. Is it time today?
Yes, I cleaned your house.
Wow, you guys, look at that wheat. Is that rain on our windshield? It was short-lived. Good morning. It is Tuesday. I keep thinking it's Monday because yesterday was holiday Monday for us. I'm gonna go check on Peanut. Chris is over there right now. She had to leave early for a chiropractor appointment. We were gonna weigh market lambs today. That was the goal. And yesterday afternoon, I took a little bit of time and just walked through those pens, and I'm like, there's not enough ready to make a good load. They're only just nicely 3 months old, 3 and a bit, like the oldest ones. So I texted her this morning. I said, you know what, just go to your chiropractor appointment because I don't think we're going to have enough ready. But yeah, I still am on the fence about Peanut. I know what I need to do, and I just haven't had the heart to do it yet. So every day I wake up thinking maybe today's the day he will walk really well, but every day he does not. That is my weakness, is taking out lambs. I can't do it. And this one in particular, I worked so hard in like saving, and we connected, and now it's just like, it's like putting down a dog, and I'm having issues with it. But I know morally I should do the right thing by him. So that still might be on the books for today, but I have to work myself up to that. What I do need to do is run to the post office for our final 12 orders that Jess and I packed up last night. And again, if I haven't said it a million times, thank you guys for this support through this launch. It was itty bitty, and the guys are here working on the shop build today. So it's nice doing this just for like a little bit of validation that we're doing the right thing. Yeah, so thank you for that. How's it going? Any better? There's a nasty orf right there, don't you? Yeah, that means we can't cuddle. No cuddling. No. He's working together. You're infectious. Oh, you look so sad. Is it time today? Will you let me know? This is when I wish someone would take over my job for a day. It's these days. I'm spying. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of smearing. Oh, okay. Forget it. That was Prince Harry. Good job, Harry. Billy's pen. My little guys are just sort of, these are all my little boys. My junior mints. And all the rest are not doing anything. Oh, my little tunas. My little tunas. Good boy. I guess size doesn't always matter. Harry. Nicely executed. You are a very pretty you, and my ram is in love with you. You're very pretty. And he is quite smitten with you. Hi guys. Oh. A little more action in the red pen, but these guys are professionals. And the U's, well, this isn't their first rodeo either. Hi Red. What are you saying? Not yet? Not quite yet, eh? Why? You're beautiful. Billy is in love. I've never seen him do this ever before. He is like on this ewe, won't let anyone near her, and he usually takes a long time to do his thing. Like he has a little dance, he romances. He is in love. Oh, he's slowing up now. He's getting tired. Oh, Billy. He's a one-woman man right now. It's a dog. Our building inspector comes tomorrow morning to check out our drainage system, our plumbing, sewage, all those things. So here's some roughed in, well, not roughed in like they're in, but this is going to be buried, so they have to come and inspect all this tomorrow. So those are drains and sewer pipe. Mark and Mike did that today. And the drains got sort of laid out here for this bay. And I don't know what we're doing. We must not have a drain in the third bay. Mark has already started laying out the insulation. I think Jess might be off work tomorrow. So between me and her and him, we might be laying these all out tomorrow. So are we going to be laying this and you're going to be doing the pipes?
That's what I was hoping. Or you will be for sure. That's all I know.
Good morning, everyone. Warm start to the day. We laid down our first bay of insulation. Mark and Mike want to start laying the in-floor heating. Now that part of the shed was always meant to be cold storage, so we had no intentions in the original plans, drawings, to make that heated, but somewhere along the line we missed the fact that they were putting a sandwich wall along our whole shed, so our walls are insulated, and Mark's like, well, if we've done that, we've gone that far, we might as well insulate the floor and lay the in-floor heating, and then if we want to add it later, we can, like it's all there ready to go. Usually what happens with build is like, while you're at it, you may as well do A or B. So we're doing that, and I thought I'd just come in and check the breeding groups. They are still rocking, so that is good to see. My little ones are just blowing me away. I don't know if they're working, but they're definitely having some fun, and the older girls are accepting them. There's something to be said about, you know, putting the older ones with the younger ones. I have been procrastinating, however, for the last couple days. I need to make a decision on Peanut, and I just don't want to do it. I do not like putting lambs down, and I most certainly do not like putting lambs down that I've worked so hard to bring into this world. And it's one of those things, you wonder if sometimes mom and nature knows more than you do when they give birth and they're not really paying much attention to the ones that are really suffering or struggling. You know, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, it's usually a happy ending and we get them going, and they don't really miss a beat. And Peanut has been such a little fighter. He's done so well. And for whatever reason, a couple weeks after we weaned them, he just went down, and I don't know if he got roughed up and maybe there's an injury we don't know about. Many of you are gonna condemn me for not taking him to the vet. I took a video a week and a half ago to Rex, my vet, and that's sort of how we communicate. And he did not suggest to take him to a vet and get x-rayed and do all the things to save sort of a poor doing, renty sextuplet that is honestly destined for the market anyway. By the time you do all that, you will never get, financially, you will never recoup the losses that would be. Now, the only upside to maybe taking him to the vet and getting some answers is actually getting some answers. Was it selenium deficiency? Is it injury? Answering the mystery of what he's dying of. So yeah, I'm gonna grab my captive Volt here and do what I absolutely hate doing, which is putting a lamb down. And this lamb in particular has just done something to my heartstrings. And that's the one downfall of sucking up your animals, like making little pets of them. Mark hates it when I do it. He's like, you always do this to yourself. It's in my DNA. I grew up making sucks out of cows and calves and cats and dogs, and I'm gonna blame my parents, I guess. It's just in my genes, it's in my DNA. I connect with some of them and I can't help it. And Peanut is unfortunately one of those, so. Anyway, it's just gonna make this job harder than it already is. It's my absolute worst job on the farm. It's done, and doesn't get easy. All right, that was hard, and I'm gonna hide in here for a little bit till it does not look like I've been sobbing. Looking at Peanut there, just in the final moments there, his eyes are really sunken in, and oh, it's been at least 2 weeks, and like if a lamb's gonna rebound, they would do it by now. Sometimes just as a farmer, you gotta make the call, and sometimes those calls are just harder to make. They've just started laying the infloor heat tubes now, so I'm just gonna quickly do up Carissa's hours here and send it off to my sister so she can get paid and go help them. But I thought I'd better just cool off for a hot minute.
No more heat stroke. It's a lot of work.
Looks good though.
This is just really hot.
Yeah. Tinfoil.
I was saying to Dad, it's like being on a barbecue.
Yep. Good morning. I have a special delivery from my good friend Michelle. She sent me her most recent color that she came out with of those quick dry bibs that I wear all the time, especially in the summer because they're a lot lighter. Now it's like 30 degrees today and yesterday, so I might not wear them, but definitely in the morning. These ones, she said, ran a little bigger than what I was wearing before, and I've always, with her, I always got her medium longs. So these are a small tall. And I'm about 5'8", and I like to have lots of room in my leg to go over boots and stuff. These are navy, and they're her new ones. So excited. Oh yeah, there's oodles of room for a small. So yeah, I can easily put pants underneath this too. So, torso feels good. Oh yeah, these are so nice. Can you see my legs? Okay, so there's a little room there to go over my boots, which I like. So the good thing about these is there's a ton of stretch. I love these when I'm lambing because I usually get covered in fluids. And then when I come in at lunch, I hang them up, and by the time I put them back on, they're dry. So they're not waterproof, like you can definitely feel moisture underneath them when you're wearing them. But they dry really quick, and I think that's the point of them. But oh my God, these are so nice. So now I have the blue, the green, and the auburn red. And she sent them on the most perfect day, because I was so sad yesterday, and then these showed up. They made me happy. I will link all her information in the description, because these are share-worthy for sure. So yesterday was a long day out in that hot sun. We did get that last bay done. We got the floor down, we got the tubing put in. Mark then talked to the foreman and said, okay, we're all ready for concrete tomorrow. In which the foreman said, oh, about that, you're not getting it till next week. So then Mark had to grab the extra flooring to set down on the doors in case we get a storm and the wind gets under it. We don't want that floor to go flying after all that work. I'm just gonna go check on my breeding groups and Carissa and see how she's doing. I missed her yesterday. All right, my prediction is as long as Team Red's swimmers are working good and they weren't cooked in that heat a couple weeks ago, you ladies had fun. Wow, Team Red are the winners, I would say. And it's the biggest group, so that's maybe a good thing. I'm heading back to the post office this morning. I got an email last night, someone saying they got the package with only one of what she should have two of. So thankfully, I had one extra, and I'm like, someone is gonna email me wondering where their second article is. So we did find it. These are all the little wrinkles that we have to work out, but considering it was our first time, this is our first one that a customer caught and not us. So that's sort of a relief, but also probably only half the people have probably got their stuff so far. So yeah, we are gonna head out and do that and then see where Mark's at. I believe today we are going to start second cut hay, which never is all that exciting, especially after our last attempt at hay. Change of plans. We were gonna grab the disc vine, but Mark's afraid if we cut it right now, it's so hot and sunny that it might get too dry. So what we're gonna do is the job we were gonna do tomorrow, which is backfill, I think mostly by hand, our plumbing situation here. What do I need to do?
Well,
Give me my instructions.
we just have to make sure that we don't get these jostled or
Okay.
try to get some finer dirt around them.
But those piles need moved.
Yeah, we have to kind of get this so it can get backfilled again.
You want me to get a shovel?
There should be one out here still, actually.
You want it over top of it now?
Yeah, you can go over top of it.
I checked out that Arms Family Farm. They have a really nice, they did a warehouse with like a, it looks like offices and like a full kitchen area. I guess that's more than 5 feet, sorry. Hi.
Yeah, I'm not sure how well Caden's going to be able to get in here to do this front end.
We are working on leveling our little trench here. Not easy, but we're getting there. Wow. Look at how clean. Did you do this for me?
Yes, I cleaned your house.
Oh, it even smells nice.
Yeah, I put a air freshener on.
Oh, look at that. Good morning, everyone. We are in the grain room where I will be spending quite a bit of time this month. Mark so graciously cleaned it up. We have not. Has it been cleaned since corn?
It's like when you're done, it's just like you.
When you're done harvest,
It's like you drop everything and walk away.
drop everything now. What are you doing? Setting up the camera and stuff?
Yeah, just sometimes. I always do it when we want to use it the day that we start.
This is like Mark prepping. It's sort of like when I prep for lambing, getting all the kinks worked out and stuff cleaned up.
Inspected the grain system yesterday.
Right. Our guys that built our grain elevator system came and did a really good job, serviced everything up. So we are ready for wheat, but we need to get our combine home. It's still at the doctor's.
Yeah, I got called in.
And I think eventually today we might bring the buggy home and get it started to get serviced.
It doesn't really need much, just change the gearbox oil.
And eventually today we are doing hay. Probably sooner than later.
Yeah, I think we'll do it sooner than later.
And we were sort of doing it to tempt the rain to rain, but we have actually lost most of the chance of rain today, which is fine too, until we get the hay off. Stuff's looking a little thirsty, especially our little beaners. Our beans could use a bit of rain, but we're never happy, really.
No.
Wish for it to stop, and then it stops, and then we complain about that. I just came out to look at this hay, and whoa, it's taller than I thought. I think it's fine though. It feels like it's very fine stemmed, but she's in full flower, which means we've missed sort of the ultimate protein level, like quality level. However, we couldn't do it any earlier, so like just logistics wise, this is the only time we can make it sort of work and get everybody lined up to do it. Like, here's the flowers. They're gorgeous. I love cutting grass beside this because it smells so nice. But yeah, it's pretty tall. Like, there's my top of my leg. I know. I was just telling the vlog that. But they've come a lot because just when I was cutting grass the other day, it was just the outside.
Well,
like,
that's kind of the thing is
really
like you get more tonnage when it does flower,
Yeah,
right? Because
true,
you've
true.
hit. It's not all flower because like there's buds right there.
That's true. It'll be a mix. When you look over it though, it just looks very flowery.
It would be like 20% flowered probably.
Yeah. At least we got a crop.
Yeah.
Might be our last one if we don't get rain.
Well, it might be the last decent one.
Yeah. Just nicely serviced our disc bind, so it's ready to go, but the hay is still a bit wet this morning from the dew. So I'm on the big Fendt. Mark is on the John Deere, and we are gonna head down to his dad's farm where we keep a bunch of equipment. I'm picking up the buggy with this tractor, and he's dropping off the air seeder with his tractor. So just trying to do these things while we have some time here waiting for this hay to dry, and all this stuff needs done and serviced probably by next Friday, because I think that's when we figure wheat will be ready to nose in and see what's going on. We got a call from our foreman about the build. I think Monday is when they're gonna lay the concrete in that first bay that we put the insulation down, and they're also gonna put the drain, they're gonna form the drain up. And then I think next Friday the concrete will be complete. So yeah, between that and getting stuff ready for wheat harvest, we're gonna have our hands full next week. I go faster than him. I'm wondering if he's waiting for me or if he's gonna go. What are you doing, sir? How you guys, look at that wheat. Whoa. So pretty. Starting to cane over. Usually means it's ready to go. Get there. Look at these guys. Make this windrow a little tighter, just in case it doesn't rain. We don't want it to get too dry.
Too many leaf hoppers.
That's not good.
No, boy. It's got that color to it.
Is that what's flying around, or those skitters? I think those are mosquitoes. We're safely in GPS mode, and Mark doesn't need to steer quite yet.
Only on the ends.
I asked Instagram to ask us some questions. Is that rain on our windshield?
More likely.
Interesting.
There's a dark cloud there, but I don't think it'll amount to anything.
Okay, first question from Bridget. What did you do on Canada Day? What did we do on Monday? We worked. What did we do though? I pulled cedars, so I worked. You were doing something though, because we were both working. Yeah, you were.
Just kind of having fun.
He was back at the cabin doing some excavator work. We did try to spend quite a bit of time this past weekend in the cabin. We went Friday night for supper and a beverage, and then Saturday afternoon, right?
Yeah, and Monday for...
And then Monday after work was done as well. So that's the one thing about having the cabin like literally right behind us is we don't have to go anywhere. We can just pack up a cooler, hike it back to the bush, and hang out there for a couple hours. Feels like we're in a whole different world. How did you get started with sheep? I have a whole video on that, but I did it ages ago. We could probably do a summary, eh? So I worked with Mark's dad and brother in their broiler breeder farm down the road. I talked a little bit about that earlier this spring when we were planting on that farm. And then in 2011, we decided we wanted to go our own way. So I left the chickens, came back home to help Mark full-time in the crop department, and then realized that cropping, as much as I love it, it's not my passion. We decided that the only animal really that had, at that point, without quota, in Canada, if you want to do dairy or chickens, you need quota to produce it, and we weren't financially, we still aren't, financially equipped to do that. I knew I didn't want goats, no offense to all my goat people out there, but I think we would butt heads. Mark actually was the one that said sheep has a really good outlook. The demographics really fit for more of a growing, non-quota based animal to grow and raise. I took a sheep infrastructure course, met some really great people, and a few of the farms were lambing, and of course I fell in love with the lambs, but I'm like, oh, I can do that. So I came home and I told Mark that I loved it. And he said, all right, well, let's renovate the pig barn across the road, which is now our market lamb barn. So we renovated it. We ran 50 ewes through that for a few months, and then we added another like 40. Actually, we lambed in between that, and it was a disaster, so we're gonna pretend we didn't lamb. And then we realized that it is not set up for both ewes and lambs. And
let's be honest, you could make 10 sheep a full-time job.
Yes, I was not efficient with my time. Everything was done by hand. We fed hay by hand, grain by hand. Nothing was automated. And Mark's like, you're gonna need more sheep.
You're gonna spend that much time going goo goo gaga over all of them that you might as well have 500
sheep.
50.
And a friend of ours was getting out of sheep. Just the stars aligned. We asked our bank if we could build a barn. We built the coverall, the barn you see now. And we took over our friend's sheep flock. I think at that point we had like 150 of our own, and Brent had 350.
Yeah.
And then we combined the flocks to make 500, so we had 500 sheep in that big barn that I have now. Since then I've drastically reduced that number. Yeah, the first few years were absolute disaster, and I've learned a lot. Wish I picked up the camera maybe in 2013 when we built that barn, but I didn't, so you'll have to take my word for it that it was awful. If it weren't for a course I took a few years later called the Master Shepherds Program, I would not be sheep farming today because I was ready to throw in the towel. You kept looking at my barn saying, wow, I could put a lot of grain in that and a lot of equipment in that. You still do, I know. 2012 we started, so yeah, we've been at it for a dozen years. That's crazy. What's your favorite crop? Krista wants to know.
Corn.
Why?
Corn's, it's like a catch-22 in a way. It's really cool because it's big volume, it's big yield. You kind of feel really good about growing it. It's like a big plant. But then, like after 3 days of harvesting it, it's like, oh my god,
I'm
there's
done
so
now.
much of this to do.
Yes.
Soybeans are probably, I like all of them, but you get tired of harvesting or growing all, like, you enjoy the first couple days of harvest of every crop, but when you kind of get down to it, you get tired of all of them.
Yeah,
But
especially if you're fighting the weather,
I do
would
like
say.
corn.
This is a good one for you to answer. It's from Mindy. When you cut the wheat, do you keep the straw or does it get munched up in the combine? Well,
like
you'll see
that.
very soon.
Most of ours, if not all of it, will be used as bedding. So it'll get basically dropped behind the combine in a row,
Much like the hay.
like the hay, and a gentleman comes in and bales it up. We keep some for ourselves, and then we sell the rest to an area beef farm.
Yeah, our buddy Joel takes the rest.
And if he doesn't want it, then it gets munched up and spit out the back.
That's
of the
right.
combine.
So we do a little bit of both. All right, I can't feel my arm because I did too much shoveling yesterday.
Well,
It was short-lived.